Alright, hello guys. So I'm just going to go ahead and walk you through my portfolio. So I start with Welcome to Miss McClellan's Portfolio, and then I scroll down and here's my tabs. So I have Portfolio, Subject Sampler, and then Technology Rich Unit Plan, which I'll get to those in just a little bit. But I'm going to scroll down. So here's my professional photo and my statement. And then I go ahead and list the Texas Educator Standards and then the Texas Technology Standards. And then I jump into artifacts. So I used buttons for mine so that when you would click to them, you would go. But anyway, and then I have my reflections. So I started with the Texas Teacher Standards, the Texas Technology Standards, artifact, and then my reflection of the artifact because I thought that that was a really clear way of laying it out. And I have all 6 standards and all 5 standards and all 7 artifacts and all 7 reflections. And so then we'll go ahead and get into the subject sampler. So my subject sampler, I decided to do it over time telling. So the purpose of that was to try and teach my students how to tell time. So in my introduction, I got a little bit cheesy and said, "Alrighty, students, it's time to learn about time." So I did time and time. And then you scroll down, and I used buttons again to take my students to the link for their subject sampler. And the instructions, and thankfully all of the activities were really clear, so it was easy to just lay the instructions out right here for them. You know, there were just a few steps and it wasn't very much. And then my conclusion down here. Now this was the first thing that I made on Weebly, and it was kind of difficult for me to understand like how to use Weebly, but then whenever I made the Technology Rich Unit Plan and then my portfolio, it got a lot easier for me, thankfully, because this is not visually the best looking in my opinion, but that's okay. And then my Technology Rich Unit Plan, I did over measurements. So from the subject sampler, telling time is a form of measurement because it's a measurement of what part of the day it's in. But anyway, so my unit plan incorporated both science and mathematics because it was kind of easy to go hand in hand with measurement that way. And then I have my science objectives, my math objectives, and then my essential questions. I did 6. So I did a couple that kind of took from science and a couple that kind of took from math as well. And then I have 5 activities below. So I use the buttons because I feel like they're fun and they're easy. And then I go down into my assessment. And so with the assessment, the students were basically going to go around the room and measure what they were going to be. So they were supposed to choose 5 objects and then estimate how long or tall they thought those objects were going to be. And then later they would go in with either a ruler or a yardstick and then measured it. And then they would compare the sizes of that to their graphs. And then here is the rubric, but if you click here, it takes you to the rubric, which was nice. How do I go back? Oh wait, just kidding, it downloaded the rubric. Just kidding. But anyway, so that was really easy to do, and it was cool to be able to just click and then download the PDF, that was a really fun thing that I learned how to do. So overall, this, like working with Weebly, it started out to be as a difficult thing for me, and I didn't really understand like how to make it to where it looked up to my standard of nice. But thankfully, it got pretty easy, and you were able to learn really quickly with it because it is an easy thing to use. And so my favorite aspect of my portfolio, I would say like, I think this part is so cute of it, but anyway, I think it was really cool to be able to do the subject sampler, even though I feel like it's not my best work. I think that it's something that I'm proud of because it really lays out like a strong like guideline of a lesson, I would say, for my students. So I think that using all of the tools, by the end of it, they would really have a really good understanding of how to tell time to the nearest half hour. So they'd be able to tell to the hour and then to the nearest half hour eventually. But I thought that this was probably my favorite thing. And then the most challenging aspect of the portfolio would probably be It wasn't difficult to put together, but it was really time consuming, having to write out all the standards and then find all the links and link everything like that. So I think that that would probably be the most challenging aspect. Not necessarily that it's difficult, but that it's just so time consuming. So if you don't get a jump on it, then it's probably going to take you a while. And I think, though, that even though it was time consuming, it was really, really helpful for me because it is such a great tool to use in the future. Like, building the portfolio in general allowed me to sort of access and look into different websites and internet tools and things like that that I may not have even thought about before. And I can really see myself using a lot of those things in my classroom in the future, especially the way that I built my subject sampler. A lot of the sources that I found and the games that I found, I thought that those were really, really cool and fun and would be things that the students would really enjoy. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. This is my portfolio. Thank you guys.